Hey everyone, so I was recently inspired by Get Shit Done with Georgie, and she came up with this thing where she talked about Tech Tool Tuesday, which I think is fabulous. So I decided that I'm going to create my Tech Tool Tuesday for today. And so what I'm going to talk to all of you about today is the Cochlear Implant. So yeah. If you're new to Project Hearing, welcome. My name is Mariela. I am the founder of Project Hearing. Project Hearing is a platform where I talk about my life as a person with a hearing disability. I use something that's called a cochlear implant to hear. And you will find so much information in all the videos and all the content I have created. I hope you enjoy it. And if you're a regular, welcome back. Let's talk about something really cool and new. So let's get started. How do I hear? So usually I tell people, oh, hi, so I just want to let you know I have a hearing disability so that we can communicate more effectively. I'm very, very transparent with my hearing disability because if I don't advocate for myself, it's going to be really difficult for other people to communicate with me and to accommodate and make my assistance as a person with a disability accessible. So I'm very big on self-advocacy. So how do I hear? The tool for today is the Cochlear Implant, and here's how it works. So, normal hearing. Actually, let's talk about how you hear if you don't have a hearing disability. So, I say, hello. I am speaking. I am sending sound through sound waves. So, these sound waves from this video are traveling to you. And so, the sound waves are coming to you, and they're going into your outer ear. Your outer ear is kind of like the external part of your ear, like the physical ear. Then inside, you know when he's telling you not to put Q-tips into your ear, you have something that's called the middle ear. And the middle ear is like this canal that takes you from here into the middle ear. So the first roadblock you are going to see is going to be your eardrum. And that's why you don't want to put Q-tips in your ears, because you could potentially damage your eardrum, which would be really, really bad. So you go into the eardrum, so sound is going into your eardrum, and then it goes into something that's called the cochlea. The cochlea is like this snail shell thing in your ear, and around that snail shell, you have these hairs that move around when you hear, and you have like, I don't want to say millions, but you have lots of hairs that kind of like move around when you hear. Now, I'm deaf because when I was younger, I got something that's called bacterial meningitis. Bacterial meningitis is something that made me really, really sick. I was 8 years old. And unfortunately, the disease made me lose my hearing. I became deaf, and all those hairs that were in my cochlea just were damaged, which means that I am a person that identifies as being profoundly deaf. It means that I can only hear things that are like really, 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 really loud. So like, for example, if I didn't have my cochlear implant, this is basically what I would hear. Nothing. So how do I hear? That's what you want to know. All right, cool. So I explained to you how you hear. Now I'm going to explain to you how I hear. So I am using a product that is called the Advanced Bionics Q70, if I'm not mistaken. Is from a company called Advanced Bionics. Now, I love a lot of Advanced Bionics products. I think that they have so much great technology, especially for the internal magnet. You should look more on like what Advanced Bionics is doing. But anyway, I'm not here to talk to you about Advanced Bionics. I'm here to talk to you about Cochlear Implants. So let's get to it. So, how I hear, sound is traveling from the phone and it goes into my ear. So this right here, this is my microphone. This thing here is basically my ear. So whenever you touch this is what I hear. You're basically playing around. You hear that? That is basically what I am hearing happening directly from this little piece here. So it is capturing what you're saying and it's sending it up to this piece here. So from the microphone, it goes down here to the processor. What the processor does is that it's the brain of the entire operation. And so it's taking those sounds that the microphone has just captured and converting it into electrical signals. Now, electrical signals is really how the cochlear implant is able to create sound. So then it takes those electrical signals in the processor and it sends it up to the magnet here. So this magnet is just like a refrigerator magnet. It goes on into metals. So what is happening is my cochlear implant processor is connecting to a magnet that I have inside. Now the magnet that I have inside in my head was implanted, so I had surgery, I was put under anesthesia. And so this magnet that I have inside, it basically has a magnet and then it has a cord. And that cord goes inside the cochlea to kind of replace or provide electrical signals to those ear cells inside my ear that were damaged because of the meningitis. And that is basically how I hear. Now, something very important is that a lot of people may have the misconception, again, that the cochlear implant is a cure for deafness. It is not. Being able to understand what this electrical stimulus is saying, because it's not the human body, it's not a natural thing. Being able to adapt and be successful with a cochlear implant requires extensive hearing therapy, extensive sometimes speech therapy. Like for me, I learned how to hear with cochlear implant after I had already developed language. So when I first learned how to hear with a cochlear implant, I had to learn how to hear en español porque mi primer lenguaje es español, y después I had to learn how to hear in English, and on top of learning an entirely new second language. So that's basically what you're hearing. If you're hearing like an accent and you're like, oh, I'm trying to understand where she's from. I am a Dominican New Yorker from Washington Heights with a deaf hearing disability, New Yorker, Washington Heights, Dominican accent, all mixes in one. So that's what you're hearing. And so that is basically how the cochlear implant works. Some of the things that you can do when you're engaging with someone that has a cochlear implant is try not to cover your mouth, which may be a little bit hard now, especially with the whole coronavirus. But if possible, try not to cover your mouth. Make sure that you speak clearly and you accentuate when possible. That's one of the things you will notice from some of my sister's video. She speaks so clearly, like she accentuates, and that's one of the things that tends to happen in families of people where one person has a hearing disability. You learn to accentuate your words. But don't be excessive. Like, don't be like, oh my God, like, don't do that. Like, just speak normally. Also, ask questions. One of the things that I really appreciate about my closest friends is that they always ask questions, like if they're not sure of something. Like, I had one friend ask me, hey Mariela, like, I'm going to have a pool party. Is that something that you feel comfortable doing? Like, they didn't just exclude me, like, oh my God, Mariela, hearing disability, she can't go, so I'm just not going to invite her. Like, don't do that. Be inclusive. Ask questions when you're not sure of something. I think that's basically my most top of mind tips. If you have a cochlear implant and you want to go share some tips below, please, by all means, go ahead. I hope you learned something from Tech Tool Tuesday about cochlear implants, about hearing disability, and I'll see you next time. Bye.